So this Christmas, I'll be screaming out J-E-S-U-S. That's my savior, J-E-S-U-S. One in the manger.
Hey y'all, welcome back to Perfect God Pursuing Me. It's your sis, Yaz. I wanted to share this warning and this grief that the Lord has placed in my heart, and I have been chewing on this for a couple weeks, but he confronted me with it last night. So I was up late and I was waiting for my husband to come to bed. I was just praying and worshiping the Lord like in the middle of the night, and it was so nice. And my husband, I asked him to bring me a snack to bed, and so he brought me an orange, and it was so good. And I was like, you know, I kind of want to start keeping oranges in the fridge unpeeled because I want to eat them more, but I don't always feel like peeling it. And he explained to me why oranges need to, for max freshness, need to remain within their covering until they're ready to be used. And I was already worshiping and praying in the spirit, and so that thing just hit me like a ton of bricks, that even an orange has to be covered and remain covered in order for it to be used. And I made a short about that, and it's all fun and games, but like for real though, the Lord has been grieving my heart even before that encounter about how he's been showing me it. There's so many people that are leading or eager to lead without being led themselves, without being covered themselves. This is so dangerous. And Matthew 24:24 says, "For false Christs and false prophets will arise and perform great signs and wonders, so as to lead astray, if possible, even the elect." He's like, it don't have to be this way. So that's why I'm here to sound the alarm and to bring this warning. I know it's a very uncomfortable thing to talk about. I'm uncomfortable sharing it, but I feel him nudging my heart is just to be very careful whose leadership you are submitting to, and watch the tree for that fruit. Just because someone is performing great signs and wonders does not mean they're qualified to lead you. Especially if you're in the elect. If you know, you know, stay on alert. He has been grieving my heart and showing me how many people are following leaders with no covering. And something my pastor had always said is, if you want to lead, you need to know how to serve. And I've seen this to be true. And I'm like, I took that to heart. I've been chewing on that, and I'm like, yeah, that makes sense. You know, you test the spirit, that makes sense. It checks out. And I think about even my husband, like the more he has submitted to our leadership in our church, to our pastors, to our elders, he has become such a wonderful leader. The more he has submitted to God and been led by God and been led by our pastors, his leadership has shifted night and day because he is led. So just think about that. Like, if you want to, I don't know how this applies to your life, whether it's who you're following online, who you're following in your circle, in your friend group, who's leading you, whatever it may be, because I know God didn't have me make this video for nothing, because this is a little more confrontational than I wanted to get. So I know it's for somebody. And I want to just break down this idea of covering too. I'm not going to go super deep. I'm not going to be before you long, but just practically speaking, you don't have to be married to be covered. If you are married, your husband is your covering, and that's not negotiable. So I'm trying to tread lightly here, but like, if you are a woman in leadership but you don't submit to your husband, I'm running the other way. Like, I am literally scared for how you're rationalizing leading other women and not submitting to your own husband. That, if that ain't the Antichrist, I don't know what is. But if you're not married, you can submit to your parents. I know we don't want to hear that. We don't like hearing that, because, you know, our parents are only human, and we like to point out their mistakes, but they don't do this, but they did that. In my childhood they did this, and now I see them do that. They don't have to be perfect, and they don't have to be right all the time for you to honor, for you to respect, for you to submit. This is something the Lord had to show me. I've testified about this. Like, there was a time in my life where he was calling me back home to himself, and he had me personally apologize to everyone in my family and rebuild connection with my parents. No matter how wrong or right anybody was, that was my covering. I wasn't married. I didn't have a church home. It was the pandemic. My parents were my covering. and we don't have to agree with everything they say. My parents ain't saved. They don't have to be saved for you to submit and respect and honor. And this opens you up to be able to even begin to lead yourself or thinking about ever leading another person. Like my dad, he's not a perfect man. He might not even always be in his right mind, but one thing he never played about in his program was respect. Like, he's like, you don't have to like what I'm saying, you don't have to agree with me, but I'm still your father and you're still gonna respect me. And I'm grateful for that. Because now as an adult woman, it helps me to conceptualize how to submit to my husband or to my pastors when I don't agree with what they're saying or I don't like it. That's the thing about being covered. It's not about always like happily doing everything you're expected to do, or you know what I mean? Like sometimes being covered is biting your tongue. Sometimes being covered is submitting when you wholeheartedly disagree, but you know God sent that person to cover you. I don't like everything my pastors advised me to do. I thought they was crazy and wrong sometimes. They was right. But I didn't see it and I still had to submit. So I'm just saying, like, if you are following someone's ministry or online ministry, whatever it is, whatever this thing is in your life, like, can you point to who is leading that person? And can you see signs of submission in that dynamic? Can you see, can you hear, can you ask and find out if there is any type of accountability, correction, or submission over that person that you're following? Whether this is you watch their Bible videos online, their prophetic words, whether you are part of a ministry outside of your church, whatever that is, like, who is holding them accountable? Who is correcting them? Because we all need that. We even, like, if you go to a church, they will likely let you know, if that's your home church, you're gonna find out the order within that church. The pastors are gonna at some point say, this is who I answer to. This is who corrects me. Nobody is above correction. But I think that, like, what I've seen and what the Lord has been grieving me about is that, especially in our generation of like this rise of like online ministry and just like kind of picking things up, picking up the mantle yourself and not necessarily getting the cloak placed on you, but picking up a mantle yourself, is we want to bypass, I'm talking about our generation, we want to bypass covering and submission and accountability. It might not come just because you feel like you're ready to lead. This is something God had to show me. You may feel like you're ready to lead yesterday, but he may think you need some years before you're ready for that point. So in that process, if you're taking matters into your own hands and you're not being covered, how are you going to be corrected, held accountable, and led until that point where God sends you out and says that you're ready? I love y'all. I hope this is just some food for thought, something to think about. God forbid you be in the elect and you be deceived. This is something he's had to minister to me about quite a bit, especially, I've talked about this before, about having itching ears and being just so thirsty to just follow anyone online and listen to, you know, what they're ministering about, or even just seeing things in real life like this, and the Lord having cautioned me to use a little bit more discernment and wisdom, even if it feels like you're being mean or you don't understand why you can't. I would just say, in this hour, in these end times, take everything to God in prayer, especially who you're following and submitting to, and just make sure that there is accountability, correction, submission, and fruit before you just willfully dive right in. Because Satan is lurking and seeking who he will devour, and I pray and believe that it will not be you. If you're connected to this channel, you're gonna have sound leadership in your life, sound doctrine, accountability, correction. God bless and keep you, make his face shine upon you, show favor to you, and bring you peace, and I'll see you on the next video.
J-E-S-U-S, making famous.